This tomb keeper is not quite right. Introduction. www.zhaoshuyuan.com, City plus System plus Suspense plus Cool Text. Yi Yang obtained the Tomb Keeper system at the beginning of the game, but unexpectedly discovered a bug that can earn him panic points even if it's scary or scary. His panic points can be exchanged for lottery draws. So, Yi Yang, what are you doing squatting in the cemetery in the middle of the night? Colleague Yang Yonglin exclaimed in surprise. Ding, from Yang Yonglin https://www.zayashuan.com. Chapter 1. Night Patrol Cemetery. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Woo woo. In July, the evening wind at Wanlshan Cemetery whimpered. It was originally a hot and dry day, but the cemetery built along the mountain appeared particularly cold. Yi Yang, just hover around the periphery to mean something. Yang Yonglin tightened his flashlight, skipped the cemetery around him, and called out the young man who was preparing to continue his night patrol. Yang, it's only my first day at work, how can I fish? Yi Yang has an ordinary appearance, but a slender figure. At this moment, he is patrolling around. Listen to my brother's advice and go back to the dormitory early to rest. Recently, things have been going wrong this night, and 2 old employees have resigned. Yang Yonglin said while bowing to the surroundings. What era is it? You have to believe in science. Yang, please go back to your dormitory first, and I'll go back after I finish my tour. Yi Yang said as he walked towards the depths of the cemetery. Okay, then I'll leave first. Yang Yonglin shrank his neck and turned around to leave quickly. Yi Yang is an orphan who grew up in a children's welfare home. As he doesn't like socializing, he chose to major in funeral management in college. Not long after graduation, Yi Yang applied for the position of administrator at Wanlshan Cemetery in Qingchuan City. Hey! As he delved deeper into the cemetery, Yi Yang faintly heard a faint sigh. At this moment, if it were someone else, they might not be able to avoid it, but Yi Yang is an atheist and has the responsibility of patrolling the tomb. He quickly followed the sound and left. Hey! Yi Yang was near a cemetery and found an old man wearing gray cloth clothes sitting with his back against the tombstone. This lament was made by the old man. Old man, what are you sitting here for? Yi Yang approached and found the old man kneading his left leg with his head down. The old man looked up at the sound and looked at Yi Yang with a pair of cloudy eyes. Hey! Young man, I live on Mount Wanla and fell and injured my leg while passing by this cemetery. Then I'll help you go home. Yi Yang held the flashlight in his left hand and stepped forward with his right hand to assist. Hiss! It's so cold. Yi Yang noticed that the old man's hands were unusually cold. The old man seemed to stand unsteadily and tightly clasped Yi Yang's wrist with his backhand. Sanin body, I finally waited for you. The old man lowered his head, his turbid eyes shining with a hint of brilliance. What? Listening to the old man whispering something, Yi Yang spoke up and asked. It's nothing, thank you, young man. Can you help me take a break at the management station first? The old man hunched his body and looked up slightly at Yi Yang, his wrinkled face appearing very pale. Okay, please take it slow. Yi Yang didn't do what he wanted and slowly helped the old man into the sofa in the management station lobby to sit down. This is a bead I found on the mountain. It looks very nice, so I'll give it to you. The old man said as he took out a dark gray bead from his cloth pocket and handed it to Yi Yang with a smile. No need. Here you are, take it. Before Yi Yang could refuse, the old man was surprisingly fast and stuffed the bead into Yi Yang's hand. Okay, thank you. Seeing that the bead was probably made of glass material and not considered valuable, Yi Yang had to nod and put it into his pocket. This bead is very cool and comfortable to place on the forehead. If you're tired, you can give it a try. Seeing Yi Yang accept the beads, the old man's face showed a smile. Young man, I'm thirsty. Can you pour me a glass of water? Yi Yang nodded and turned to pick up a cup of warm water, but in the blink of an eye, the figure of the old man was nowhere to be seen. Yi Yang was puzzled in his heart, put down his water glass and went out to look around, wondering why the old man had injured his legs so quickly. The next morning. Early. Yang Yonglin yawned and came down from the second-floor dormitory to find Yi Yang doing hygiene in the lobby. Good morning. Yi Yang looked up and replied, then continued to mop the floor. The cleanliness here is done by the cleaning lady, you don't need to clean it. It's okay, it's easy. I left yesterday, isn't there anything wrong? An old man living on the mountain injured his leg. I helped him, but there was nothing else to do. Old people living on the mountain. Yang Yonglin dissipated most of his drowsiness and approached Yi Yang. Yeah, he said he lives on Mount Wanla. I helped him into the hall, and the kung fu person who poured a glass of water disappeared. Why are you looking at me like this? Seeing Yang Yonglin's Adam's apple rolling and his strange expression looking at him, Yi Yang couldn't help but touch his face. There are no residents on the mountain. Oh, it's also possible that the old man made a mistake. Is there any problem? Yes, you are very likely to have won the prize. What prize did you win? Wait a minute. Seeing Yang Yonglin rushing into the surveillance room, Yi Yang felt puzzled in his heart. Yi Yang, come on. Not long after, Yang Yonglin's voice came. Yi Yang put down his mop, wiped it, shook his head, and walked into the surveillance room. You see for yourself. Yang Yonglin's voice trembled slightly as he pointed to the footage replayed in the surveillance footage. The surveillance footage was brought back to last night's scene, and Yi Yang was seen alone, holding hands and entering the hall, then muttering strangely to himself towards the sofa. Yi Yang's back was soaked in cold sweat, and his atheistic worldview collapsed in his heart. Yi Yang, where are you going? Seeing Yi Yang running towards the second-floor dormitory like he had lost his soul, Yang Yonglin shouted in confusion, but Yi Yang did not respond, so he quickly turned off the surveillance playback and left. This bead is still there. Yi Yang took out a gray bead from the drawer and was dumbfounded. The bead that the old man gave him last night actually existed. Looking at the gray pearl, Yi Yang remembered what the old man had said, and hesitated to stick the gray pearl to his forehead. Yi Yang was greatly surprised. As soon as gray pearl touched his eyebrows, it melted into his brain like water droplets. Ding, the Tomb Guardian system is activated. Ding, the beginner gift pack has been distributed at zhaoshuyuan.com. Yi Yang was stunned for a long time, and his face gradually turned pale. He couldn't believe that the voice was coming from his brain. No, I need to go to the hospital for a check-up. The big bead penetrated into his brain, and Yi Yang suspected that he had hallucinations. He immediately went downstairs. Yi Yang, where are you going? Go check out the brain department and ask the boss for a day off for me. That's it, this kid won't be scared out of his wits, will he? Seeing Yi Yang hurriedly leave, Yang Yonglin murmured to himself. In the afternoon, Yi Yang rushed back to Wanlshan Cemetery from the urban area. The hospital examination results showed that everything was normal. Although the voice in his mind did not ring again, Yi Yang could clearly feel the gray bead inside his brain. Returning to the dormitory, Yi Yang decided to figure out what was going on. Closing his eyes, his consciousness slowly focused on the gray beads, and a sudden interface appeared in Yi Yang's mind. There are 2 columns above the interface. System level. Level 0, 0/100. Check-in. 0, there are 4 options at the bottom of the interface. Attribute, backpack, task, and lottery. Yi Yang opened the properties interface with his mind. Tomb Keeper. Yi Yang, realm. Ordinary people, skill. Nun Yi-yang opened his backpack again, which contained 3 compartments, one of which was the beginner's gift pack. Open the gift package and the system will sound again. Ding, activate the Lingyan skill. Ding, the infusion of the Qianling Secret Classic, Volume 1, has been completed. Yi-yang let out a muffled groan, only feeling a strong swelling in his brain, and a large amount of cultivation information appeared in his mind. Chapter 2. Lingyan. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ads by Google equals window. Ads by Google. Push. After a long time, Yi-yang rubbed his temples before gradually recovering. The Qianling Secret Classic in my mind records the cultivation techniques and some basic knowledge. The techniques can help the human body absorb the moonlight and spiritual energy from all around, thereby strengthening itself. So mysterious. Yi-yang murmured to himself, intending to try practicing at night. Consciousness once again entered the system, and Yi-yang found an additional spiritual eye in the skill bar. Lingyan. The basic skill of a tomb keeper, which allows them to see the essence of their soul. Is there really a soul present? Yi-yang was curious in his heart, but didn't know how to use it, so he looked at the taskbar. Simple cleaning and cleaning 30 cemeteries, difficulty Zhao Qian's last wish, countdown to 3 days, nightmare. She in the mirror, 7-day countdown PS. Be cautious when choosing mortal realm. Looking at the 3 tasks, Yi-yang felt that the cleaning task was quite simple. As for difficulties and nightmares, they are difficult to complete at first glance, and the countdown is unknown, especially for nightmare tasks, which make him nervous just by looking at their names. I chose the simple level now, and the cleaning task was immediately lit up, with an additional description added afterwards. Simple cleaning and cleaning 30 cemeteries. Cleaning the cemetery is the basic responsibility of the tomb keeper. Please complete this task within 1 hour, otherwise you will be punished. The current progress is 0/30. Countdown. 59 minutes and 43 seconds. Such a pit, there will be punishment if it's not completed. Yi-yang was so frightened that he immediately exited the system and hurriedly went downstairs to grab tools before rushing towards the cemetery. Yi-yang doesn't want to know what punishment is, he just wants to complete the task quickly. After half an hour of rapid cleaning, Yi-yang finally completed the task and sat exhausted, panting heavily. Ding, cleaning and cleaning 30 cemeteries, completed, gain 3 points of experience, and draw once. The sound of the system sounded, and Yi-yang's suspended heart was completely let go. He decided not to easily accept the task anymore. After taking a break, Yi-yang returned to the dormitory and took advantage of today's leave to study the system thoroughly. Entering the system again, Yi-yang was the first to sign in and unexpectedly won one lottery opportunity. Yi-yang opened the lottery interface and saw 2 numerical values displayed in the upper left corner. Number of lucky draws. 2. Fear value. 0. PS. Every 30 points can be redeemed for 1 lottery. Yi-yang didn't know what the panic value was, and there was no explanation written on it. In the middle of the lottery interface is a circular turntable, with approximately 85% of the area being white, 14% being green, 1% being blue, and a red line that is difficult to detect with the naked eye. Yi-yang was curious in his heart and immediately began the lottery. The turntable turned and the pointer quickly stopped in the white area. Ding, thank you for your patronage. Yi-yang's forehead was lined with black lines, and he drew another lottery. Ding, thank you for your patronage. Yi-yang's mouth twitched, giving off a feeling of being played with. At this point, the number of lottery draws has been exhausted, and the panic value is unknown. Yi-yang temporarily does not interrupt the difficult and nightmare tasks, so he has to exit the lottery interface. Yi-yang discovered 2 extra light blue pills in his backpack and immediately checked. Requiem pill. Thank you for your patronage. Attached as a gift, it has a slight calming and invigorating effect, which can relieve the frightened soul. So there's also a consolation award. Although the 3 words, complimentary items, were heartwarming, at least they also gave Yi Yang some comfort. After testing, Yi Yang found that items in the backpack can be removed, but real-life items cannot be placed in the backpack. Looking at the small soul-calming pill in his hand, Yi Yang didn't know if it was poisonous. His heart twitched and he immediately went downstairs to the backyard. Some vegetables were planted in the backyard, as well as several local chickens fed by Yang Yonglin. Be good, don't move. Yi Yang slowly approached a rooster, trying to make it try the medicinal effect of An Hun Wan. Cluck cluck. The rooster reacted sensitively, and Yi Yang bent down to grab it and immediately fled. I don't believe it and I can't catch you. Yi Yang rubbed his hands and, after some pursuit, successfully stuffed a soul pill into the mouth of the local chicken. Cluck cluck. As soon as Yi Yang released his hand, the rooster began to excitedly crow. No poison. The refreshing effect is very good. After observing for more than 10 minutes, I saw that the rooster was as active as if it had been beaten with chicken blood. Yi Yang judged that the An Hun pill was truly effective, so the technique should also be genuine. Yi Yang, what's wrong with my chicken? Not long after, Yang Yonglin was attracted by the abnormal crowing of the rooster. Cough, I don't know. Yi Yang coughed twice and turned around to leave. After dinner, Yi Yang practiced according to the movements in the mysterious spirit secret scripture, in the dormitory, but did not feel any spiritual energy. He decided to wait until it was dark and the moon came out before trying again. Night falls and the bright moon hangs high. Yi Yang proposed to patrol the cemetery alone at night, and Yang Yonglin nodded repeatedly. The abnormal incident last night left a shadow in his heart. Yi Yang started practicing while there was no one around, but he couldn't enter through the door. It wasn't until he chose to practice deep in the cemetery that he felt a slight change in his body. Is this spiritual power? Feeling a hint of cool gas swimming in his body, Yi Yang felt happy in his heart. As long as he got started, it was easy to say. At present, Yi Yang devoted himself wholeheartedly to cultivation, slowly absorbing the moonlight and the faint spiritual energy around him. Yi Yang felt that the temperature around him had decreased significantly, but he didn't pay much attention for some unknown reason. With cultivation, the spiritual energy in the body gradually grows from the size of hair to the thickness of hair. With a movement in his heart, Yi Yang moved his spiritual energy through his eyes, feeling a tingling sensation in his eyes. Then, the world turned into black and white. Is this the spiritual eye? Yi Yang murmured softly and suddenly noticed a green light flashing by his side. He couldn't help but turn his head to look. I saw a young man wet all over, with a pale and decayed face shining green, staring curiously at Yi Yang. Ah! Yi Yang and the young man both screamed at the same time, and Yi Yang got up and ran quickly towards the dormitory. Ding! The panic value from Chen Shuang is +3. Yi Yang didn't pay attention to the system prompt sound, but due to unstable spiritual energy in his body, his spiritual eye effect disappeared and his eyes returned to their original state. Ah! At the entrance of the management station, Yi Yang, who was in a panic, collided with Yang Yonglin, who was hurriedly leaving. They both screamed in surprise at the Shuyuan website www.zhaoshuyuan.com. Ding! From Yang Yonglin's panic value +2. Damn it, what's your ghost's name at night? If it weren't for worrying about you getting into trouble, I wouldn't be too lazy to come out. Yang Yonglin couldn't help but pat his chest to calm his mind when he saw that it was Yi Yang. I won. Yi Yang wore a bitter face as he spoke and pulled Yang Yonglin into the house, quickly locking the door tightly. Gollum! Did you meet that again? Yang Yonglin swallowed his saliva and pulled up the curtains of the hall. Well, this time I saw it very clearly. It's a young man who's soaked through and looks really scary. Yi Yang's mind once again conjured up the image of a young man just now. Ding, from Yang Yonglin, the panic value +3. Hey, don't scare me. I don't want to resign yet. Yang Yonglin, with a bitter face, approached Yi Yang a bit. Yi Yang finally heard what the system was saying and now realized that the panic value had increased to 10 points. Hey, talk to you, what's going on? Looking at Yang Yonglin, who was anxious in front of him, Yi Yang's heart became less afraid and moved. Do you think I'm joking? Yi Yang pretended to look gloomy and looked at Yang Yonglin with a strange smile. Are you okay? Yang Yonglin immediately moved away from Yi Yang and asked with a slightly trembling neck. Ding, from Yang Yonglin, the panic value is +5. Seeing Yang Yonglin as a frightened kitten, Yi Yang couldn't help but smile. Pushy. Damn it, how dare you play with me, kid? Upon seeing this, Yang Yonglin didn't even know that he had been tricked. He pretended to be angry and started fighting with Yi Yang. Chapter 3. Zhao Qian's Last Wish. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ads by Google equals window. Ads by Google. Push, 2 days passed in the blink of an eye, and Yi Yang had a preliminary understanding of the Tomb Keeper system. Signing in and completing simple tasks every day will earn you one chance to win a lottery. After completing the task, it will refresh every 8 a.m., but unfinished difficult and nightmare tasks will not refresh. And the panic value needs to be implemented by Yi Yang himself, targeting people or monsters. Over the course of 2 days, with 2 lucky draws exchanged for the panic value, Yi Yang drew a total of 8 times. Thank you for your patronage and received 8 Requiem pills. Yi Yang personally experimented with a soul calming pill, which had an excellent effect. Not only did it soothe the panic of the last encounter, but it also kept the mental state of pleasure for an hour. As for spiritual energy, through cultivation, it has become as thick and thin as a baby's finger, and the system realm has been changed to level 1 of magical spirit. Considering that today is the last day of a difficult task, Yi Yang was worried about being punished and decided to complete it after much thought. Difficulties. Zhao Qian's last wish. Completing the soul wish of the cemetery and allowing the deceased to rest in peace is the duty of the tomb keeper. Please bring the Juyin umbrella to Yongfu Garden 7.13 to accept the task. Failure to complete it within 1 day will result in punishment. The current progress is 0/1. Task items. Juyin umbrella, recovered at the end of the task, holy eye spray 1 bottle. Countdown. 23 hours, 59 minutes, and 41 seconds. Seeing that there was still plenty of time, Yi Yang first checked the task items. Juyin umbrella. With Juyin umbrella, the soul no longer needs to worry about sunlight exposure. Holy eye spray. Let mortals turn on holy eye temporarily for 30 minutes, which can be used 10 times. So stingy, I have to recycle it after use. Looking at the pitch-black Juyin umbrella, Yi Yang pursed his lips and murmured to himself. Turn off the system. Yi Yang took out the Juyin umbrella and walked towards Yongfu Garden. The Wanglshan Cemetery covers an area of over 300 acres and is divided into 4 areas. Yongla Garden, Yongning Garden, Yongshou Garden, and Yongfu Garden. Among them, Yongfuiyuan Cemetery is the most expensive, indicating that Zhao Qian has a relatively wealthy family background. Arriving at the tomb of Zhao Qian in Yongfuiyuan 7.13 and looking at the brand new and magnificent tombstone, Yi Yang judged that Zhao Qian should have been buried not long ago. Wow! Yi Yang opened the Juyin umbrella and suddenly felt that the temperature around him had dropped a lot, just like a portable air conditioner. Ha! The Yin wind suddenly rose, and Yi Yang felt something coming under the umbrella. He skillfully opened his spiritual eyes. In the black and white world, Yi Yang saw an old man standing under an umbrella with a green light, looking the same as the tombstone photo in front of him. Hello, Mr. Zhao. Although Yi Yang has seen many eerie souls in the past 2 days, he still feels a bit scared from such close contact. I'm not willing to die. Zhao Qian's pale face suddenly looked ferociously at Yi Yang, filled with endless resentment, and the green light all over his body doubled. Gulu. Who can withstand this? Yi Yang trembled and took a tranquilizer pill, which calmed the panic in his heart. Mr. Zhao, don't get angry and damage your body. No, don't get angry and damage your soul. Just let me know if you have anything to do, and I will definitely find a way to help you complete it. Yi Yang could see that Zhao Qian's resentment was not directed at him, so he gently comforted him. I'm so suffocated to death. Seeing Zhao Qian's tone slightly, Yi Yang answered at the appropriate time. Mr. Zhao, why don't you tell me? Maybe I can help you. Thank you. I was the chairman of Qianlin Group during my lifetime, and before I died, I intended to hand over the group to my eldest son Zhao Shan. But Zhao Gang, the rebellious son of the second son, knew my thoughts and forced me to write a will to hand over the group to him. Then he gave me sleeping pills, disguised as the illusion of me committing suicide through unbearable illness and pain. How could I have given birth to this rebellious son? You keep calming down. Don't get excited, how can I help you? After listening, Yi Yang rose to an unnamed flame. Although he was an orphan and had not experienced the love of a father and mother, one can imagine how happy it would be to have parents. However, Zhao Gang committed the heinous act of patricide. Sigh. Death is like a lamp going out. I have to leave after staying in the human world for 7,749 days. Today is the last day, and I want to tell Zhao Shan before leaving to be on guard against that rebellious son. Zhao Qian sighed and said helplessly. Have you ever tried telling him directly or daydreaming or something like that? Yi Yang was a little curious. I have tried, but my ability is not enough to show my form or dream. Zhao Qian shook his head. Then I'll help you convey it. Zhao Shan is very cautious and may not believe you. Why don't you help me call him first? You have spiritual power, and I can use your voice to speak. Line. Do. Hello, Shaner, I'm your father. Neurosis. How about I take you directly to see him? Yi Yang thinks that there is also a smart eye spray that can be used. That's all I can do. Zhao Qian nodded and got into the Juyin umbrella. Yi Yang arrived at the Qianlin group, but was stopped by security guards under the building. Just as he was in trouble, Zhao Qian's voice rang in his ears. Quickly stop that girl, she is my granddaughter Zhao Shuning. I saw a woman dressed in light blue casual clothes, with a tall figure and long black hair curled up, passing by Yi Yang and entering the building. Zhao Shuning, Yi Yang immediately shouted. Zhao Shuning looked back, her delicate and fair pretty face mixed with confusion. I'm your grandfather's friend. I have something important to tell you. As Yi Yang spoke, he was constantly pushed away by the security guard. Zhao Shuning's eyebrows furrowed lightly, and it was very strange to see Yi Yang Qing holding a black umbrella. She was certain that she had never seen Yi Yang before. She went to Shuyuan www.zhaoshuyuan.com and found out that he was dressed simply, so she concluded that her grandfather would not make friends with him. She then prepared to turn around and leave. There is a wishing bottle under the big tree in your estate, which you and your grandfather personally buried. Yi Yang shouted loudly according to Zhao Qian's words. Zhao Shuning's figure paused, and only she and her grandfather knew this little secret. She immediately turned around to signal the security guard to leave. Private reception room of Qianlin Group. What? You said my grandfather was killed by my second uncle. After listening to Yi Yang's account, Zhao Shuning couldn't calm down in an instant. If you don't believe it, let your grandfather personally tell you. Seeing that there were no other people in the reception room, Yi Yang didn't want to explain much and immediately opened the black umbrella. My grandfather. Zhao Shuning was puzzled when Yi Yang suddenly sprayed water into her eyes. What are you doing? Shunning, I'm Grandpa. Ah. Zhao Shunning was about to scold Yi Yang when she saw Zhao Qian, who had a pale face, appear under the black umbrella. Her pretty face instantly turned pale and she let out a piercing scream. Ding, from Zhao Shunning's panic value plus 10. Ding, from Zhao Shunning's panic value plus 8. Yi Yang didn't expect that even if he didn't implement it himself, he could still obtain the panic value, and it would still be a continuous gain. Zhao Shunning's screams quickly caught the attention of the security guard, as Yi Yang was about to be carried out by them. Wait, you guys go out first. I'm fine. Zhao Shunning reluctantly calmed down her inner fear and had the security guard retreat again. Grandpa. Is it really you? Despite her inner fear, Zhao Shunning couldn't help but cry and tremble as she saw her grandfather's familiar face again. Chapter 4. Zhao Qian's Last Wish, Completion. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Ads by Google equals window. Ads by Google. Push, it's me, silly girl, stop crying. Grandpa didn't scare you just now, did he? Woo-woo. Grandpa. Zhao Shunning could no longer suppress her inner longing, crying and hugging Zhao Qian, but she threw herself into the air. Miss Zhao, people have different paths. This is your grandfather's soul. Please mourn. Yi Yang timely spoke to comfort and immediately signaled to Zhao Shunning to hold the Qian umbrella, leaving time for the grandfather and grandson. After a while, Zhao Shunning called Yi Yang in with red eyes. Thank you, Yi Yang. Yi Yang nodded and took the Qian umbrella. I didn't expect Uncle Air to be so ruthless. I have to tell Dad to call the police and catch him. Zhao Shunning said this and prepared to go out to find Zhao Shan. Wait, do you have any evidence? Yi Yang reached out and stopped Zhao Shunning. So what do you say I should do? I can't wait any longer. Seeing Zhao Shunning crying with tears in her eyes, Yi Yang pondered for a moment before expressing his own thoughts. After listening, Zhao Shunning looked at Zhao Qian and saw him nodding, so she also agreed with Yi Yang's approach. At night, Qian's manor. Zhao Shunning invites Zhao Gang and his wife to visit him at home. During the visit, he calls them to the study and locks the door. Yi Yang, who has been waiting, takes the opportunity to use holy eye spray on them. Ah, it's weird. Ding, from Zhao Gang's panic value plus 15. Ding, from Li Mei's panic value plus 20. Ding, from Zhao Gang's panic value plus 13. Li Mei was so scared that she fainted on the spot, while Zhao Gang was so scared that he went crazy and kept kneeling down to admit his mistake to Zhao Qian. Dad, I was wrong. It was all Li Mei who encouraged me. I was really wrong. Bastard. I don't have you as a villain. Dad, please forgive me. Don't come looking for me anymore. I really dare not. Don't talk nonsense. First, explain everything that harmed me in detail. Okay. I said, Dad, it's all Li Mei's fault for giving me the idea. She said. After seeing Zhao Gang explain clearly how the two of them killed their father and seized power, Yi Yang felt unsafe and gave Li Mei a tranquilizer pill. Li Mei immediately woke up. Ding, from Li Mei's panic value plus 18. Ding, from Li Mei's panic value plus 16. Under the authority of Mr. Zhao Qian, Li Mei also revealed the truth, which was vastly different from what Zhao Gang had said. Did you record everything? Yi Yang looked at Zhao Shunning. Well, I've already called the police, Zhao Shunning nodded. Not long after, the police arrived at Qian's manor. After Zhao Shunning showed the video recorded on her phone, the police arrested Zhao Gang and his wife on the spot and brought them to justice. Ding, the Zhao Qian's last wish has been completed, earning 30 points of experience, 1 green gift box, 3 lucky draws, and the mission item, Qian umbrella, has been collected. The sound of the system sounded, and Yi Yang's heart also calmed down, waiting for Zhao Gang and his wife to be severely punished by the law. After cooperating with the police to complete the transcript, Yi Yang and Zhao Shuning arrived at a deserted corner. "Grandpa, don't you want Dad to give you the last leg?" According to Zhao Qian's instructions, the two did not explain the situation to Zhao Shan from beginning to end. "No need, my wish has been fulfilled. Why let the mountain disciples feel more sad? Alright, I should go too." Zhao Qian waved his hand and looked lovingly at Zhao Shuning. A black vortex gradually appeared behind him, slowly drawing Zhao Qian in. "Grandpa. Woo-woo." Zhao Shuning wanted to come forward and stop Zhao Qian, but was caught by Yi Yang. "Don't get too close, that's a deceitful door that undermines yang energy." Yi Yang spoke out to remind that this is the basic knowledge recorded in the Xianling secret classic. Zhao Qian waved to Zhao Shuning, and his figure and the mysterious gate eventually dissipated together. After reluctantly calming down her emotions, Zhao Shuning thanked Yi Yang again and then asked the driver to take him back. After returning to the dormitory, Yi Yang began to check today's harvest. The task rewards 3 lucky draws, with a panic value of 113, which can be exchanged for 3 more lucky draws. Yi Yang drew 6 consecutive pills without any surprise, and the probability of winning the lottery was too low. Fortunately, the task left a smart eye spray that can be used 5 times and a green gift box. Yi Yang eagerly opened the gift box. Ding! Obtain 1 Zhenling talisman. Ding! You have obtained 1 set of evil mask. The system space is insufficient, it will be distributed later. Ding! We have obtained 3 moonstones, but the system space is insufficient. We will distribute them later. Yi Yang's mouth twitched, so he had to first remove the items in the space and then check each newly obtained item one by one. Spirit suppressing talisman. Can suppress ordinary wandering souls. Yi Yang learned from the mysterious spirit secret classic that after death, a person will transform into a wandering soul, usually shining with green light. After staying in the human world for 7,749 days, they will be taken away by the mysterious sect. However, some wandering souls have extremely strong resentment or obsession after death, exerting all efforts to resist the suction of the mysterious door, not entering reincarnation, and completely becoming solitary in wild ghosts. These types of wandering souls are relatively difficult to deal with. Evil mask. A must-have item for pranks, so you no longer have to worry about running out of panic points. How could there be such a wicked and interesting thing? Yi Yang murmured to himself, feeling a trace of spiritual energy flowing through the mask, which may have unexpected effects. Moonstone. It contains the power of moonlight and shortens the tedious time of cultivation. Yi Yang sighed, it's still more practical to do tasks. With so many rewards for difficult tasks, wouldn't that nightmare be even richer? Shaking his head, Yi Yang was more worried about his own safety than the reward items. Nightmare missions could be dangerous at first glance, and there were still 4 days left. He had to hurry up and practice to be safe. Yi Yang took the moonstone and rushed to the cemetery. Through these days of cultivation, he found that his physical condition had significantly improved, so he was particularly focused on cultivation. During his cultivation, Yi Yang found that the efficiency of holding a moonstone in his hand had increased several times. After squeezing out the moonlight from the 3 moonstones, the moonstones shattered all over the ground, and Yi Yang's realm reached the 2nd level of martial spirit. Yi Yang felt that his condition was unprecedentedly good at this moment, with various physical attributes equivalent to 1.5 times the previous level. Unfortunately, the moonstones were depleted, and he had to rely on him to slowly cultivate. Yi Yang, who was in a happy mood, had a playful heart and took out a mask of evil and deceit. He then opened his spiritual eyes. Ah! It's weird. What kind of thing is this? It's so ugly. Ding, from Li Futian, the panic value is +5. Ding, from Chen Shuang's panic value +6. Ding, from Lu Xiaoqin's panic value +4. Dot. You guys are really weird, you really don't have any consciousness. Yi Yang took off the evil spirit mask and was very satisfied with its effect. These are some of the more active wandering souls he recently discovered in Yongla Garden. These wandering souls all have strong attachments, have not entered the cycle of the mysterious sect, and their strength is relatively weak. Among them, only Chen Shuang has the ability to manifest. Yi Yang decided to pass through the 4 cemetery gardens when he had time. After all, he would be neighbors in the future and at least have to get along well. Chen Shuang. Yi Yang's heart moved, and before leaving, he called out the wandering soul Chen Shuang. I'll leave you with the night patrol of the cemetery in the future. Feel free to let me know if you have any updates. Chen Shuang looked at the evil mask in Yi Yang's hand and quickly nodded. You also need to cooperate with Chen Shuang, do you hear me? Seeing a group of wandering souls and nodding obediently, Yi Yang was very satisfied. It's not that Yi Yang wants to be lazy, after all, he has to sleep at night, so wandering souls don't have this concern. He is responsible for the safety of the entire cemetery. Chapter 5. The Crying Voice of Women. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ads by Google equals window. Ads by Google. Push. The next morning, Yi Yang still smoked 3 times. Thank you for your patronage, and gradually accepted this reality in his heart. Secondly, Yi Yang found that difficult tasks were not refreshed, and the taskbar only had 2 options. Simple and nightmare. He didn't know what the refresh requirements were. In the morning, Zhao Shan learned from the police station that his father had been murdered and rushed to Zhao Qian's cemetery with his family to burn paper and repent. Yi Yang sighed, life does not bring death, but there are still people who are influenced by interests and go astray, causing harm to others and oneself. Afterwards, Zhao Shunning, dressed in black, found Yi Yang alone to thank him again and insisted on leaving 10,000 cash before agreeing to leave. Except for special events such as Qingming Festival, the management station of Wangshan Cemetery is usually relatively idle. Seeing that there were not many guests in the morning, Yi Yang finished a simple task and went to the city to purchase a large amount of yellow paper and cinnabar. He planned to copy the Zhenling talisman. Brother Yang, please call me if you have something to do. Yi Yang gave an explanation and prepared to return to the dormitory to draw symbols. Okay, anyway, there's nothing going on right now. By the way, Uncle Xiang is coming back from his annual vacation this afternoon. You can come down and say hello when he arrives. Okay. Yi Yang knew that Yang Yonglin was referring to Uncle Xiang as an old employee named Li Zhongxiang. Due to his son's marriage, he took annual leave to arrange the wedding. Hey! Why is it just that I can't draw well? Yi Yang's dormitory is covered with discarded runes, and there is no successful copy. Looking at the spirit talisman on the table, Yi Yang could feel the flow of spiritual energy inside, but he could only see that its form was not divine, and spiritual energy could not be infused into the talisman paper. The spiritual energy in his lower body was depleted, and Yi Yang could only recover from cross-legged meditation, pondering the reasons behind it. In order to complete the nightmare task with all his might, Yi Yang wanted to copy more Zhenling talismans for self-defense, but was unable to enter. In the afternoon, Li Zhongxiang rushed back and Yi Yang went downstairs to greet him. Looking at Uncle Xiang's tired face, Yi Yang guessed that arranging the marriage must have cost him a lot of effort, and couldn't help but sigh at the pitiful hearts of parents all over the world. It was learned from Yang Yonglin that a while ago, an old employee reported that there were women crying at night in Yongning Garden, so they resigned and left. However, Yang Yonglin and Li Zhongxiang were a group and did not hear during the night patrol, so he believed that Uncle Xiang could shake the scene, so seeing Li Zhongxiang come back was very reassuring. Yi Yang actually noticed a trace of spiritual energy circulating on Li Zhongxiang's body. After some probing and questioning, he discovered that Uncle Xiang was wearing a jade pendant to ward off evil spirits. It is said that it was given to his grandfather by an expert. Yi Yang suddenly realized that no wonder Yang Yonglin said something was wrong on the first night, without specifying the specific reason, probably because he was afraid he would be scared away. In order to ensure the harmony and safety of the cemetery, Yi Yang plans to focus on a night tour of Yongning Garden tonight. After getting to know Li Zhongxiang, Yi Yang returned to his dormitory and began copying the town spirit talisman. Time quickly arrived at night, and although Yi Yang did not successfully draw the Zhenling talisman, he had a rough understanding of the structure of the rune. Chen Shuang, lead everyone to follow me closely and come up together if you have something to do. Yi Yang proposed to patrol alone at night, taking a group of wandering souls from Yongla Garden towards Yongning Garden. Woo-woo. Not long after, Yi Yang heard the cry of a woman coming from afar, so he quickly took out the Zhenling Fu and rushed there. Woo-woo. As Yi Yang approached, the woman's crying gradually became clear. Yi Yang noticed a disheveled woman sitting in the cemetery ahead, dressed in a black dress and constantly crying with her head down. Hiss. Yi Yang took a deep breath of cold air and through his spiritual eyes, he noticed that the woman's body was full of intense green light, making her the strongest wandering soul he had ever seen. Hello. May I help you? Yi Yengru asked in a soft voice. Woo-woo. Feeling Yi Yang approaching, the woman stopped crying and slowly looked up at Yi Yang. Gulu. The woman's face was covered by long hair, with only a pair of blood-red eyes piercing through her hair. Yi Yang couldn't help but swallow his saliva secretly. Hello. I am the tomb keeper here. It's sad to hear you cry. Did you encounter any difficulties? Xiao Bao. What? What little treasure? Seeing the woman finally speak softly, Yi Yang didn't listen carefully and leaned forward to listen. My little treasure is missing. The woman suddenly stood up, revealing a ferocious face with bleeding from her 7 orifices, which frightened the wandering soul behind Yi Yang and immediately dispersed. Seeing only Chen Shuang still by his side, Yi Yang couldn't help but sigh inwardly that these wandering souls were unreliable. Don't worry, speak slowly. Why is your little treasure missing? Yi Yang attempted to slowly approach the woman, who glanced at the spirit talisman in Yi Yang's hand and suddenly charged towards her with fierce intent. You are all bad people, give back my little treasure, give back my child. The sudden change caught Yi Yang off guard and he couldn't help but fall to the ground in fear. Seeing the woman about to pounce with terrifying resentment, Yi Yang showed his fear and his mind went blank. At this moment, Chen Shuang stopped in front of Yi Yang and was instantly knocked down by the woman. The woman kept biting Chen Shuang's soul body, and although Chen Shuang tried his best to resist, he was ultimately not a match for the woman. Seeing that the green light on Chen Shuang's body began to weaken, Yi Yang finally regained his senses and immediately stood up to stick the Zhenling Fu onto the woman's body. Ah! The woman let out a scream and her soul was immediately frozen, but her hands and feet were still trembling slightly. She tried to break free from the spirit talisman by searching for the Shuyuan website www.zhaoshuyuan.com. Get up quickly. Yi Yang condensed his spiritual energy into his hands and stepped forward to support Chen Shuang. Can this talisman work or not? At this moment, Fu Wenming was uncertain, and the woman clearly had a tendency to break free. Yi Yang couldn't help but shudder inwardly, considering whether to escape this place with Chen Shuang first. Yi Yang quickly rejected this idea. He couldn't escape the wandering soul and might even harm Uncle Xiang and Yang Yonglin. With a movement in his heart, Yi Yang bravely approached the struggling woman and took out a soul-calming pill to stuff into her mouth. The requiem pill did not fall to the ground, but instead emitted a soft light that slowly melted into the woman's soul, gradually calming it down. Ha! It really works. The Anhun pill has a calming effect and should be useful for both humans and monsters, confirming Yi Yang's speculation. Feeling Chen Shuang's eager gaze, Yi Yang suddenly took out another soul-calming pill and handed it out. After taking it, Chen Shuang's thin green light solidified again, and he didn't expect that the Anhun pill still had this effect. "Hello, I really have no malice and I really want to help you. Can we have a good chat?" Seeing the woman calm down, Yi Yang spoke again in a sincere tone. The woman's blood-red eyes looked at Yi Yang, hesitating for a moment before nodding stiffly. Upon seeing this, Yi Yang mustered up the courage to remove the Zhenling talisman. To show his sincerity, he directly put the talisman into his backpack. "You're a good person, help me find Xiaobao." Seeing that the woman had not gone crazy again, Yi Yang breathed a sigh of relief. "Okay, can you explain in detail how Xiaobao was lost?" The woman nodded slowly, sobbing and speaking intermittently. As the woman spoke, Yi Yang finally understood the background. Chapter 6. Searching for Little Treasure Clues. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ads by Google equals window. Ads by Google. Push, the woman's name is Lingyan. One day, she brought her 3-year-old son Xiao Bao to buy groceries. Due to the large number of people in the market that day, Lingyan accidentally discovered that Xiao Bao was missing. After the alarm, it was discovered through surveillance that Xiao Bao ran out of the market alone, crying, and eventually disappeared into the blind spot of the surveillance. Due to Xiao Bao not being found, Lingyan's husband filed for divorce in a fit of anger, and Lingyan committed suicide by taking poison on the brink of mental breakdown. A while ago, Lingyan suddenly felt the scent of Xiao Bao in the cemetery. As she couldn't leave the cemetery during the day, she had to come out at night to search, but in the end, she found nothing. "Are you sure you felt Xiao Bao's breath a while ago?" Yi Yang grabbed the key and asked. "How could I mistake my little treasure?" Seeing signs of Lingyan's excitement again, Yi Yang quickly explained. "I didn't question your meaning. I think I can help you find the visitors of the day and see if I can help you find Xiao Bao." "Really? You must help me." Hiss. Lingyan's soul was solidified, and she went forward and tightly grasped Yi Yang's wrist. The strong cold pain made Yi Yang take a deep breath. Watching Lingyan as if grabbing the last straw, Yi Yang's heart was touched. What he saw was no longer the ferocious and eerie, but just a poor mother. Yi Yang placed his right hand on Lingyan's hand and solemnly promised. "Don't worry, Yanjie. I will do my best to help you find Xiao Bao." After inquiring in detail about Lingyan's perception of Xiao Bao's time, Yi Yang invited Lingyan to rush to the management station together. Before parting ways with Chen Shuang, Yi Yang sincerely expressed his gratitude. Upon arriving at the monitoring room, Yi Yang immediately pulled out the surveillance footage from the lobby 2 weeks ago. Generally, visiting family members would purchase incense, candles, paper money, etc. at the service station. Yi Yang wanted to see if Xiao Bao had come in. After several hours of inspection, Yi Yang and Lingyan went through all the visitors that day, but did not find Xiao Bao's figure. Seeing Lingyan's expression of disappointment, Yi Yang comforted her with a soft voice. Considering that Lingyan may have memorized the wrong time, Yi Yang retrieved the surveillance footage from the previous month to check one by one. Although there have been fewer visitors recently, it's almost dawn after carefully watching the surveillance footage for a month. "Yanjie, you should go back first. It's not good for your soul and body at dawn. I'll continue to help you check. As soon as I have any news, I'll go to the cemetery and tell you." Yi Yang looked at Lingyan beside him with deep black circles under his eyes. Lingyan looked at the slightly white sky outside and then looked gratefully at Yi Yang. "Thank you, why don't you go take a break first?" "It's okay, it's normal for young people to stay up late." After Lingyan left, Yi Yang began to check the only road surveillance outside the cemetery. Considering that Wamelshan Cemetery is located in the suburbs, as long as guests visit, they will definitely come by car. Even if Xiao Bao does not enter the hall, he will definitely take a vehicle. Yi Yang will register the license plates provided by Lingyan one by one for the week before and after. I'll go. Yi Yang, what are you doing here this morning? Ding, from Yang Yonglin's panic value +2. Watch the surveillance footage. Yi Yang closed his notebook and finally registered the vehicle. Did you stay up all night just to watch the surveillance footage? Seeing Yi Yang's dark circles under his eyes, Yang Yonglin's expression was somewhat strange. There's something going on. Yi Yang yawned and walked towards the computer in the hall, holding a notebook. The management station records the basic information of all the burial personnel. Yi Yang wants to see Lu Yan's basic situation and see if he can get a photo of Xiao Bao from her family. It's been over 3 years since Lu Yan passed away. Yi Yang was surprised in his heart. As a result, Xiao Bao is at least 6 years old this year, and the difficulty of searching is estimated to be even greater. After calling Lu Yan's father, Yi Yang suggested helping to find Xiao Bao. Although Yi Yang was a stranger, Lu Yan's father readily agreed to provide photos. After all, there was an extra hope. From Lu Yan's father's mouth, it was learned that Lu Yan committed suicide after searching for Xiao Bao for over a year without success, indicating that Xiao Bao is already over 7 years old. After receiving the photos, Yi Yang decided to go to the police station to try his luck. Upon arriving at the police station where Lu Yan reported the incident before his death, Yi Yang explained that he wanted to check the license plate in order to find Xiao Bao. The police said they would carefully investigate and asked him to go back and wait for news. After returning to the management station, Yi Yang was exhausted both physically and mentally after completing simple daily tasks. He took a good nap at noon before recovering. Seeing that there were no guests in the afternoon, Yi Yang said hello and returned to the dormitory to study the town's spirit talisman. Due to using the Zhenling Fu on Lu Yan last night, which consumed a lot of spiritual energy, Yi Yang attempted to recharge her. After some attempts, although Yi Yang was unable to successfully charge, he unexpectedly discovered the trajectory of spiritual energy flow inside the spirit talisman. So it's like this. Yi Yang was overjoyed in his heart and finally knew why his drawing failed. Originally, the order in which Yi Yang wrote before was incorrect, which failed to form a closed-loop circuit for spiritual energy, resulting in runes unable to store spiritual energy. After knowing the reason, Yi Yang began to frantically try again and finally succeeded in drawing a Zhenling talisman before nightfall. Yi Yang discovered that the spirit talisman he made could also be stored in the backpack space, and he guessed that items with spiritual power could only be placed inside. After dinner, the sky gradually darkened. Yi Yang came alone to Lu Yan's tomb and told her about today's progress through the book garden www.zhaosuiyuan.com. Although Lu Yan was somewhat disappointed, she sincerely thanked Yi Yang for her efforts. After waiting for Lu Yanjing's reply from the police station, Yi Yang went alone to Yongla Garden to start practicing. It's weird. Ding, from Fu Chang's panic value +10. Ding, from Lin Weiwei's panic value +8. Ding, comes from the Sichuan panic value +8. In the distant night, there were screams of terror, and the headlights lit up, accompanied by the roar of cars as they drifted away. As Yi Yang was puzzled, Chen Shuang drifted over. Just now, there were 3 sneaky people. I asked them why they came and they were scared away. Seeing Chen Shuang's wet hair draped over his rotting white face, most people can't resist it. Although Yi Yang felt that there was something fishy going on, who would come to the cemetery in the middle of the night, he currently doesn't know the specific situation and can only watch it quietly. Chunhui Garden Villa area. Mr. Hui, there's something wrong with this tomb keeper. What? You said you saw something strange. Yes. He was dripping all over, and the carrion on his face was almost falling off. Pop. Zhao Linhui slapped Fu Chang in the face. Give you one more day, give me one more leg to waste, called Yi Yang, otherwise I'll have someone waste your leg. Yes, yes, yes. Seeing Fu Chang and the others leave, Zhao Linhui drank the red wine on the table in one gulp. Since the arrest of his father Zhao Gang, Uncle Zhao Shan has become the largest shareholder of Qianlin Group, and Zhao Linhui's economic source has significantly decreased. The main culprits are Zhao Shunning and a young man named Yi Yang. Zhao Shunning couldn't afford to provoke him, so he targeted the powerless Yi Yang. Chapter 7. She in the Mirror. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The next morning, Yi Yang woke up and drew a few Zhenling talismans, and now his success rate is very high. After checking in the morning, complete the simple task and continue to draw a thank you for your patronage. The day quickly passed. In the evening, Fu Chang brought 4 people to the cemetery again. Fu Chang and 5 others were wearing duckbill caps and masks, all tightly wrapped around themselves. You all know Mr. Huey's tactics. Tonight, success is only allowed and failure is not allowed. Fu Chang held a gossip mirror in his left hand and a steel pipe in his right hand, turning around and whispering to his subordinates behind him. A few people parked their car in the dark. As soon as they got off the car and didn't walk much, they saw a figure standing in front of them. They were so scared that Fu Chang held up his gossip mirror and took several steps back. Who are you? What are you doing at the cemetery tonight? Yi Yang turned on his flashlight and shone it on several people. Damn it, it turns out you're a human. You're Yi Yang. Fu Chang used the light of his flashlight to see the incoming person clearly, and then took out his phone to compare it. What are you looking for me for? Finally found the rightful owner, he lost one leg. Fu Chang didn't waste any time either, he directly called on a few people carrying steel pipes to rush towards Yi Yang. You will disturb my neighbors like this. Yi Yang frowned, for some reason offending the people in front of him. I'm disturbing you. It's weird. Before Fu Chang could even utter his mother's name, he saw Qin Shuang suddenly appear next to Yi Yang, throwing the steel pipe in his hand and holding up his gossip mirror, aiming at Qin Shuang. The other few people were also frightened and hid behind Fu Chang. Ding, from Fu Chang's panic value +12. Ding, from Lin Weiwei's panic value +10. What are you doing with this mirror? Qin Shuang suddenly floated up to Fu Chang, took the gossip mirror in his hand, and looked curiously at it. Damn. That old man selling fake goods. Ding, from Fu Chang's panic value +20. Seeing Fu Chang faint on the ground, the others quickly dragged him into a van and drove away in a gloomy manner. At this moment, Lu Yan also drifted over and was stopped by Yi Yang's hand. He knew that Lu Yan's attack was heavy, and these people should be instructed by others. There was no need to harm the fish in the pond. The next morning, Yi Yang received a call from Zhao Shunning, stating that Zhao Gang's son Zhao Linhui was going to retaliate against him, urging him to pay attention to his safety and not to go out alone at night. Hanging up the phone, Yi Yang's face was gloomy. Like a father, like a son. Zhao Linhui, like his father, had ulterior motives. Yi Yang is not a soft persimmon either. As long as Zhao Linhui dares to come and cause trouble, he doesn't mind taking his neighbors to visit at night. Put aside your thoughts, today is the last day of the nightmare mission, and Yi Yang doesn't want to accept punishment from the system. Nightmare. She in the mirror, the purpose of tomb guardians is to suit the soul into reincarnation, not limited to the cemetery. Please arrive at room 4 of Yuan Academy before 12 o'clock a.m. to listen to her performance in the mirror. Failure to arrive on time will result in punishment. The current progress is 0/1. Countdown. 14 hours, 53 minutes, and 36 seconds. Yi Yang was somewhat surprised that the mission location was actually outside the cemetery. At present, there is still plenty of time, and Yi Yang plans to draw more town spirit talismans and set off after completing simple tasks. Ding, sign in continuously for a week, luck plus 50% in the next lottery. Did the system have any conscience? Zhou's attendance also rewards a luck bonus. Yi Yang muttered to himself that he had been drawing a consolation prize all this time. Stop, stop, stop. Hey. I saw the pointer almost stop in the blue area, but it turned a little more and finally stopped in the green area. Ding, congratulations on winning a green gift box. It's not easy. Yi Yang was excited and won the prize for the first time. He immediately emptied his backpack and opened the gift box. Ding, obtained 3 soul-repellent incense and 1 requiem score. Soul-dispelling fragrance. After ignition, expel wandering souls within a range of 10 meters around the body for 30 minutes. Requiem score. Depending on the level of performance, it can exert varying degrees of requiem effects. The soul-dispelling fragrance can be directly used by Yi Yang, but the requiem score is temporarily useless because he does not understand music. It's still the reality of An Hun pill. Yi Yang shook his head and set aside the requiem score. After completing the simple task, Yi Yang began to draw talismans. This nightmare task seemed dangerous at first glance, so he had to prepare more spirit-calming talismans before he could rest assured. In the morning, Yi Yang successfully drew 34 pieces, and the success rate gradually increased. After finishing lunch, he spoke to Uncle Xiang and Yang Yonglin, and Yi Yang went to Yueyin Academy alone. Yueyin College is located in the third ring area of Qinchuan City and is a first-class vocal institution in China. In the afternoon, when Yi Yang arrived at the college, he asked around and all the students said that there was no number 4 piano room. Yi Yang became anxious and couldn't even find the piano room. How could he complete the task? Before it got dark, Yi Yang finally got the location from an ant who was sweeping the floor. Originally, 4 years ago, there was a fire in the number 4 piano room of the college, and a female student named by Lingyan was buried in the sea of fire. Afterwards, a student heard the sound of a piano from room 4 at night, but there was no one inside. After the strange incident occurred, the college quickly blocked the news and converted room 4 into a miscellaneous room, prohibiting students from approaching and discussing the matter. As a group of students graduate, very few people know about this matter. After asking about the location of the miscellaneous room, Yi Yang finally breathed a sigh of relief. At night, Yi Yang avoided the patrolling security personnel and quietly arrived at the miscellaneous room on the 4th floor of the college. Yi Yang noticed that the door was locked, so he turned downstairs and carefully smashed the door lock with a stone. Fortunately, this place was more remote and did not attract security personnel. Jiya. Yi Yang pushed open the door and entered, smelling a rotten smell of wooden tables and chairs. Ah Chio. The place was covered in dust, and Yi Yang couldn't help but sneeze and casually closed the door. In order not to reveal his whereabouts, Yi Yang did not intend to turn on the lights, but instead used the faint light of his phone to look around. I saw some old tables and chairs placed in the spacious room, and there was a floor-to-ceiling mirror on the innermost wall, which seemed to be just an ordinary miscellaneous room. Yi Yang saw that there was still half an hour left until midnight, so he found a chair and started waiting. In a forest in the college, several men crouched and whispered to each other. Weizi, did you follow the wrong path? How could that kid come to school? Chang, why did you come so late? I've been with him all day and I won't make a mistake. He just went to that building. That's fine. I bought a few peachwood swords today, but the old man said they were all open, which delayed some time. Come on, one for each person. It's still Chang's thoughtful thinking. Get ready to take action. I begged Mr. Hui to grant me a last day's grace. Tonight, whether it's human or not, success is only allowed and failure is not allowed. Yes. It's 12 o'clock in the morning. Ding, please find the main array of the soul refining formation within 5 minutes to activate the mission, otherwise you will be punished. Yi Yang can't help roast, and immediately starts to look around anxiously. After a while, Yi Yang felt a slight spiritual fluctuation in the lower right corner of the mirror. He fumbled and pulled out a small flag with runes from the back of the mirror. As soon as Yi Yang took out the small flag, he saw a ripple-like pattern on the entire mirror, which frightened him and made him quickly retreat. Chapter 8. Damn it, it's fake again. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Dang 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 dang. The crisp and pleasant sound of the piano slowly rang out. Yi Yang quickly activated his spiritual eyes and saw a change in the scene in the mirror. All the clutter disappeared and a piano appeared, playing with a woman with her back to the mirror. Hiss. Blue light. Yi Yang noticed that the woman was emitting a deep blue halo, and the suffocating resentment was about to overflow through the mirror. According to the Qian secret classic, the soul that emits blue light is a vengeful spirit, and its strength is not comparable to that of a wandering soul. The specific details are not explained in detail. Yi Yang dared not make a sound and slowly retreated to the door, intending to complete the task and evacuate at any time. For safety reasons, Yi Yang lightly put on the evil and eerie mask he was wearing around his waist, at least it had a certain deterrent effect on his soul. Seeing the woman in the mirror only playing the piano without any other movements, Yi Yang remained highly vigilant and listened to the sound of the piano. At first, the sound of the Qian was soothing, but soon it became rapid and accompanied by some noisy discussions. A blind man also wants to play the piano. That's right, I really thought I played very well. She also said that Professor Zhang's sheet music was created by her. Shameful, don't show your face. Dang 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 dang. The sound of the Qian became heavy and rapid, and the picture changed accordingly. The raging flames engulfed the piano room in the mirror, and the woman wanted to escape, only to find that the door was locked and the woman was choking heavily with thick smoke. Yi Yang instinctively wanted to help, but after looking around, he understood that it should be a scene of a woman's life experience. The woman seemed to be seeking help, but no one came to help until she was overwhelmed by thick smoke and completely engulfed by flames. The sound of the piano stopped, and the mirror returned to normal. However, there was an additional woman wearing a red dress in the mirror, standing with her back facing the mirror. Gulu. Yi Yang swallowed his saliva, and the woman's position indicated that she was looking at him in the room. The woman in the mirror suddenly approached Yi Yang slowly, causing him to panic. His spiritual eyes malfunctioned for the first time, only able to see her in the mirror, but unable to see her clearly in reality. At this point, there is no prompt sound indicating that the task has been completed, indicating that he cannot leave the room yet. Bai Xinyan. Yi Yang boldly shouted out, trying to break the woman's pace of progress. Sure enough, the woman in the mirror paused and didn't move forward, as if curious about what Yi Yang had to say. Bai Xinyan. You play the piano very well. Can you play another piece for me? Yi Yang's voice trembled slightly. Although he didn't understand music, he did feel that Bai Xinyan was playing well at the beginning. Bai Xinyan hesitated a bit, but actually began to slowly retreat, as if Yi Yang's approval had been very helpful to her. Seeing another piano appearing in the mirror, Bai Xinyan was about to sit down when a slight noise came from outside the door. Chang, I've searched all over the 3rd floor. That kid should be on the 4th floor. I just heard the sound of the piano. Keep it quiet, don't attract the security guard, quickly use one of his legs to retreat. Not good. Yi Yang let out a bad cry, and the door to the grocery store was pushed open by Fu Chang and others. You're really hiding here, kid. Don't think wearing a mask means I don't know you. Fu Chang replaced the peachwood sword in his right hand with a steel pipe and walked towards Yi Yang with a grim smile. Let's go. Yi Yangling saw Bai Xinyan quickly approaching Fu Chang and others in the mirror, and couldn't help but remind them. Let's go. I won't waste your leg tonight. Don't think about leaving. Fu Chang was holding the steel pipe and was about to smash it at Yi Yang when suddenly his body seemed to be hit by a small car, flying and crashing onto a nearby table and chair. Ah! Wow! Fu Chang let out a scream and spat out a mouthful of blood. Brother Chang! The other few people thought it was a trick done by Yi Yang and attacked him one after another. Ah! It's weird. Ding! From Lin Weiwei's panic value plus 15. Ding! Comes from Sichuan's panic value plus 13. Dot. Bang bang bang. Several people flew out of nowhere and smashed into various places. Use a peachwood sword. Fu Chang barely propped himself up and picked up his peachwood sword, ready to attack by Xinyan. Click. Bang. I saw the peachwood sword in Fu Chang's hand shatter out of thin air, and his body smashed to one side again. Damn it. It's fake again. Retreat. Bang. At this moment, the door was tightly locked and several people couldn't get out. Although Yi Yang couldn't see Bai Xinyan in the room, he felt a strong resentment and guessed that Bai Xinyan was going to kill him. Can we save it or not? Yi Yang is not the Holy Mother. Although these people are despicable, they have not committed crimes to death. They have just received the lesson they deserve. Stop it. Yi Yang took a step forward and stopped a few people before suddenly feeling swept by a strong force, flying towards the nearby tables and chairs. Zhenling Fu. Yi Yang suppressed the pain and immediately stood up, took out a spirit calming talisman, skimmed his glasses, and swung it away. Ah! Zizi zizi. A mournful scream rang out, and Bai Xinyan finally took shape in the audience. His long hair fluttered, revealing his gray eyes and a ferocious face burned by the flames. Bai Xinyan was wrapped in more than 10 Zhenling talismans all over her body. Seeing that she was about to break free, Yi Yang took the opportunity to open the door and let Fu Chang and others escape. Pai Li Pa. After a moment, Bai Xinyan broke free from his shackles and all the Zhenling talismans exploded together. Yi Yang took out another handful of Zhenling Fu and sprinkled it. After briefly calming Bai Xinyan, he stuffed another handful of requiem pills into his mouth. Bai Xinyan, they have no grudges or grievances against you. Don't just add to your killing. Yi Yang shouted while igniting the soul-repellent incense. Pai Li Pa. Bai Xinyan once again broke free from the spirit talisman and approached Yi Yang 1 meter in front of him from the Shuyuan www.zhaoshuyuan.com. Yi Yang's heart was also hanging, and the soul-repellent fragrance could only drive away wandering souls. I don't know if it's useful for resentful spirits like Bai Xinyan. Bad guys. Bai Xinyan spoke softly. Seeing that Bai Xinyan was finally able to communicate normally, Yi Yang breathed a sigh of relief. Actually, I am also doing it for your own good. Killing someone who has nothing to do with you will exacerbate injustice, and falling into reincarnation will result in cruel torture. This is what Yi Yang learned from the Qianling secret classic. Seeing Bai Xinyan indifferent, Yi Yang's voice softened. You have so much resentment on you, it seems like you're not dying normally. What can I do to help you? Bai Xinyan let out a cold snort and floated back, ready to blend into the mirror. I really want to help you. If you don't want to say anything, can you play the song just now again? Bai Xinyan's figure paused, as if only music could calm her down. Dang 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 dang. Bai Xinyan didn't reply, just sat silently in front of the piano and began to play the music attentively. With the sound of the Qian, Yi Yang saw that the burn on Bai Xinyan's face had subsided, revealing a delicate and beautiful face. Coupled with the soothing sound of the Qian, she was as agile as a fairy. Pop 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 pop. Yi Yang applauded sincerely, thinking that Bai Xinyan played very well. How could there still be those doubts in the previous noise? Ding, she in the mirror has completed it. She is actually just longing for a loyal audience to gain 100 points of experience, 1 blue gift box, and 10 lucky draws. Ding, the Tomb Guardian system has been upgraded to level 1. Come and see what changes have occurred. Chapter 9. Palm Thunder. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ads by Google equals window. Ads by Google. Push. Yi Yang was a bit surprised and didn't expect to complete the task right away. At this moment, the sound of security guards faintly came from the corridor. It seems like a noise coming from the miscellaneous room, go and take a look. The captain asked us not to approach that room easily. He said there was something unclean, so let's not go. Let's go, don't be too superstitious. We need to live up to this bowl of rice. Yi Yang couldn't explain the reason for coming here late at night, so he hurriedly said to Bai Xinyan. You are the best person I have ever seen playing the piano. I will come and listen next time when I have time. Remember not to harm innocent people, I will leave first. Yi Yang hurriedly left and hid in the adjacent toilet. While the security guard was checking in the grocery room, he immediately left in the wrong direction. After taking a taxi back to the dormitory, Yi Yang became more and more afraid as he thought about it. If Bai Xinyan's murderous intentions did not subside in the end, he was likely to entrust it to the school. It seems that nightmare-level tasks cannot be underestimated. Tonight, Zhenling Fu and En Hun Wan played a significant role, and Yi Yang decided to stock up more in the future. But Zhenling Fu needs economic support. Yi Yang is almost running out of money earned by doing odd jobs in college, leaving only Zhao Shunning with 10,000 yuan left. Spending money is really a headache. The ship naturally straightened at the bridgehead, and Yi Yang didn't think much. He decided to take a look at the upgraded system and tonight's harvest. The backpack has been expanded by 10 times, and the panic value can also be exchanged for other items. Yi Yang found that the backpack space had increased to 30 spaces, and the storage of items was not as tight. Moreover, the panic value could be exchanged for soul pills and moonstones. Requiem pill. 10 fear points. Moonstone. 100 panic points. Moonstone is a good thing that can accelerate cultivation speed. Yi Yang thinks that in the future, he should increase his panic value. The lottery interface has also changed, with the white area on the turntable changing to 75%, green 20%, blue 5%, and a double-thickened red line. Originally, upgrading the system could also increase the lottery rate, but upgrading to level 2 requires 1000 experience, which is currently impossible to achieve. There is also an additional column called Soul Covenant. Yi Yang curiously opened the soul binding column of the system. Soul Covenant. 0/1. On the premise of voluntary participation of the soul, the tomb keeper can enter into a contract with them. The contracted soul is a loyal partner of the tomb keeper, and once the contract is completed, it cannot be terminated. P.S. The soul cannot enter the cycle of reincarnation, and the tomb keeper should think carefully before deciding. Yi Yang felt that Qihuan was too domineering, equivalent to cutting off the soul's path, and did not intend to use it. After reviewing the upgraded system, Yi Yang started 10 consecutive draws and was ready to try his luck. Ding, thank you for your patronage. Ding, thank you for your patronage. Ding, congratulations on winning a green gift box. Not bad, the probability has indeed increased, and I won 2 green gift boxes. Yi Yang is very satisfied, this is the correct way to open the lottery. Ding, activate the stone carving skill. Ding, obtain 3 soul candles and 1 talisman pen. Stone carving. The basic skill of the tomb keeper to make the tombstone carving more exquisite. Soul candle. Food loved by the soul. Rune pen. Rune completion rate increased by 10%. The items from the 2 green gift boxes are still good, especially the talisman pens. In the future, Yi Yang has a higher probability of drawing the Zhenling talisman. There is also a blue gift box. Yi Yang rubbed his hands and murmured to himself, curiously opening it. Ding, activate the Palm Thunder skill. Ding, obtain 1 soul-killing sickle and 10 moonstones. Palm Thunder. Triggering the gathering of thunder elements around the palm to form a powerful palm thunder. P.S. Beginners beware of self-harm. Soul-killing sickle. It has the power to kill souls and infuse spiritual energy with even greater power. Yi Yang sighed, truly worthy of being a blue gift box. The item opened is high.end. But what kind of ghost is that to beware of self-injury? Is there still danger? Yi Yang couldn't resist his curiosity and quietly slipped to the cemetery to start the experiment. Is this palm thunder? Looking at the few strands of lightning gathered in his palm, Yi Yang's complaint was felt, and it had nothing to do with the described power. Hiss. Just as he was distracted, a few strands of lightning fell into his hand, causing Yi Yang to wave his hand. Good guy, you can't play with thunder when you have nothing to do. Yi Yang speculated that it was due to his weak spiritual ability, so he immediately took out the moonstone and began practicing. Ah! It's great! Not long after, Yi Yang's realm was successfully elevated to the 3rd level of Shuling, and indeed, the cultivation of moonstone came quickly. Although spiritual energy can improve physical fitness, Yi Yang still felt exhausted after a busy night and rushed back to the dormitory to sleep. The next day, in the morning. The tasks have all been refreshed. At 8 o'clock in the morning, Yi Yang found that the difficulties and nightmare tasks had been refreshed again. It seemed that he needed to complete the nightmare tasks to fully refresh. Simple preparing tombstones 8.4 in Yongla Garden difficulty Zhou Qing's obsession, countdown to 3 days, nightmare. Moving rocking chair, countdown 7 days, just finished the nightmare task. Yi Yang wanted to slow down and only took on simple tasks. In the morning, Yi Yang didn't expect Lin Weiwei to visit last night. Brother Yi, thank you last night. I apologize on behalf of Brother Chang and several other brothers for offending you so much before. Please forgive me. The person who really wants to harm you is Zhao Linhui from the Qianlin group, and we don't plan to take on this job anymore. We're going to run away today, so you must be careful of Zhao Linhui's retaliation. After Lin Weiwei finished speaking, he immediately left. It seems that these few people are not too bad either. Yi Yang doesn't like to sit idly by, so he went to Shuyuan www.zhaoshuyuan.com to inquire about Zhao Linhui's residence. He plans to solve this problem tonight. At this moment, Zhao Shuning took the initiative to call. Yi Yang, can I ask for your help? What's going on? I know you are someone with real skills. Recently, my best friend has been having some problems. Her family has hired several famous doctors but they haven't cured her. I suspect she has encountered something dirty. What is the specific situation? Originally, Zhao Shuning's best friend's name was Sun Qianqian. Recently, she suddenly became drowsy and self-harmed at night. Her family asked her for no reason, and her behavior was very strange. Yi Yang himself is not very experienced, but he still agrees to go to the next day's class to see the situation. Of course, Yi Yang also found out Zhao Linhui's address in the end. In the morning, Yi Yang received a call from the police station, stating that he had visited the car owners with the license plates he provided one by one and did not have any clues from Xiao Bao. Seeing the clues interrupted, Yi Yang didn't give up. He rushed to the police station during his lunch break and obtained the basic information of these car owners through various means. After dark, Yi Yang formulated a route map based on the owner's address, and he wanted to personally verify it with Lu Yen. Due to Zhao Linhui's close proximity to one of the car owners, Yi Yang decided to solve this problem first. Zhao Linhui lives in a high-end villa community, and it's not that the security guards of the community do not allow him to enter. Therefore, Yi Yang asked Lu Yen to help him visit and told him not to take too much action. In Zhao Linhui's bedroom, he was holding a woman up and down in his arms. Suddenly, Zhao Linhui noticed that the lights in the room suddenly went out, and the woman in her arms was cold all over. She looked down and saw Lu Yan's terrifying and eerie face, bleeding from her 7 holes, staring at him. Zhao Linhui's lower body instantly softened. Ah! It's weird. Chapter 10. Little Treasures Clues. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Zhao Linhui shouted in terror, wanting to escape the room, but found that the door couldn't be opened. He sat on the ground in fear, watching Lu Yan slowly crawl towards him. Ah! Seeing Zhao Linhui faint from fear, Lu Yan took a soul-calming pill for him according to Yi Yang's arrangement. Ah! It's weird. Ding, from Zhao Linhui's panic value plus 20. Ding, from Zhao Linhui's panic value plus 20. Dot. You're so timid, you've run out of 5 soul pills so quickly. According to the system prompt, Yi Yang roughly guessed the situation on Zhao Linhui's side. Not long after, Lu Yan drifted back. This person is too timid, probably mentally unstable. I didn't do anything wrong. It's okay, thank you. What's this small matter? I should thank you. Let's go, it's time to get down to business. Let's go find Xiao Bao. Yi Yang is not at all pitiful for Zhao Linhui's fate. Next, Yi Yang took a taxi with Lu Yan to verify one by one, and was busy until 2 o'clock in the middle of the night without any clues. Don't lose heart, there are still 2 families, Yi Yang comforted Lu Yan beside him. God talked about it all night. The taxi driver saw Yi Yang muttering in the rearview mirror, and couldn't help roast to himself. This is it, this is it. It has the aura of a little treasure. After Lu Yan arrived at the second-to-last house, she excitedly drifted to Yi Yang's side. Yan Jie, don't get excited, is Xiao Bao inside? Yi Yangru asked in a soft voice, feeling happy for Lu Yan in her heart. Not here. Xiao Bao is not here, why? Where exactly has my Xiao Bao gone? My Xiao Bao, my Xiao Bao. Yanjie, please calm down first. What's going on? I felt the scent of Xiao Bao from this man, although it was very faint. I am certain that this is my Xiao Bao scent, and I will not remember it wrong. Yanjie, it seems like a good thing at the moment. Although Xiao Bao is not here, it can be confirmed that he has recently had contact with Xiao Bao, which indicates that our efforts are in the right direction. Don't worry now, listen to me. Okay, I'll listen to you. As long as I can find Xiao Bao, I'll listen to you. Lu Yan cried and grabbed Yi Yang's arm, feeling extremely painful with his current extraordinary physique, which shows the excitement in Lu Yan's heart at this moment. Yi Yang understands Lu Yan's feelings very well. His son has been missing for over 4 years, and now there is hope of finding him. If it were any mother, it would be like this. Lu Yan followed Yi Yang's plan and forced the man to ask where he had seen a 7-year-old boy recently, ultimately obtaining an important clue. The man has recently been to his hometown in Tianmai Mountain, Sangling City. His brother's son is over 7 years old and is said to have been picked up 4 years ago. Without saying a word, Yi Yang negotiated a price of 2,000 yuan with the driver and rushed overnight with Lu Yan to Tianmai Mountain, more than 600 kilometers away. Around 10 o'clock in the morning, Yi Yang arrived at a remote village in Tianmai Mountain. After inquiring along the way, he finally found his brother's house. It's Xiao Bao, there's Xiao Bao's aura here. Don't worry, I'll ask. Yi Yang comforted Lu Yan. As Lu Yan was unable to appear during the day, after trying, he allowed her to enter the backpack space. At this moment, there was no one at the man's house and the door was tightly locked. Therefore, Yi Yang began to inquire everywhere and only found out that they had gone out to do agricultural work. His son was studying at a nearby elementary school. After Yi Yang arrived at the school, Lu Yan was excitedly incoherent in the backpack space. If it weren't for the day, she might have rushed out. After confirming that Xiao Bao was at this school, Yi Yang decisively called the police. After the police arrived, the teacher brought a 7-year-old boy to Yi Yang. Xiao Bao. As Lu Yan cried and shouted, a burst of white smoke rose and she rushed out of her backpack space, wanting to hug her son. Come back quickly, otherwise you won't see Xiao Bao again. Seeing Lu Yan so impulsive, he risked his soul and soul to appear during the day. Yi Yang's face was moved and he quickly called Lu Yan, who had suffered serious soul injuries, back into his backpack. Yi Yang began to explain to the police that the boy in front of him may have been lost or abducted, and requested a blood sample comparison. Subsequently, the police brought Yi Yang back to the office to make a record, and after verifying the matter with the local police station of Yi Yang, they collected a blood sample for the boy. Due to the blood sample comparison results taking several days, before Xiao Bao's identity was verified by the police, Yi Yang was worried that Lu Yan would do something inappropriate, so he took Lu Yan back to the cemetery by car. Along the way, Yi Yang kept taking soul-calming pills for Lu Yan, which helped her recover a bit. During this period, Yi Yang repeatedly comforted Lu Yan, urging her to trust the police. Although Lu Yan was anxious, she could only wait. In order to reassure Lu Yan, Yi Yang followed her instructions and notified her father and ex-husband separately, urging them to rush to Tianmai Mountain to monitor and prevent any other changes in the situation. Yi Yang, have you encountered something recently and taken another day off? In the afternoon, when Yi Yang returned to the cemetery, Yang Yonglin curiously asked. It's nothing, take care of some urgent matters. Oh, it's best not to run around tomorrow. The boss wants to bring a new employee. Okay. Yi Yang returned to the dormitory and had a good sleep. In the evening, Yi Yang woke up and drew a few town spirit talismans. Considering that Bai Xinyan was too angry and afraid that she would cause trouble at school, he decided to go and have a look. Zhaoshuyuan.com. Yi Yang put on a mask of evil and deceit, climbed over the wall and entered the school. Along the way, there were no security guards patrolling, and he smoothly reached the door of number 4 piano room. The door is actually not locked. Although Yi Yang was puzzled in his heart, he still quietly pushed the door in. The tables and chairs in the room have been emptied, revealing the 4 lock soul formation flags in the corners. The spiritual energy contained in the talisman flag is very obscure, and it is difficult to detect its existence without seeing the actual object. The talisman is covered in wrinkles and dust, obviously not recently placed. Let's go. At this moment, a weak voice emanated from the mirror. It's Bai Xinyan. Bang. The door was pushed open heavily, and a middle-aged man walked into the room. He was wearing a black robe, with a pattern of a dying moon embroidered on his right chest. It seems that you are the one blocking my financial path. Who are you? Yi Yang's face was solemn, and he slowly retreated. He could feel the powerful spiritual fluctuations on the man's body. Oh. I don't even recognize this outfit, no wonder you dare to harm my good deeds. Black Gui swallowed his soul. The man let out a cold shout and waved his sleeve robe, flying out a black-faced and eerie creature. What a powerful wandering soul. Yi Yang was secretly surprised, with a black, eerie and fierce aura rushing towards him, and the green light around him was even stronger than Lu Yan's. Zhenling Fu. Yi Yang threw out 2 Zhenling talismans out of thin air to temporarily immobilize Black Gui. You still have spatial artifacts on you. It seems like this trip wasn't in vain. Let's all come out for activities. The man waved his hands and 6 or 7 ferocious and eerie creatures rushed towards Yi Yang. Yi Yang immediately took out the soul-destroying sickle with a cold light and fought against Li Gui.